Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Butterfly Spirit 314. So guys, today I'm going to be doing a video. It's going to be a text video. So what I want to talk to you guys about is if you guys receive this letter, it's known as a 6475 letter. You may have no idea what this letter is, and that's completely fine. What I want you guys to do is, if you received this letter in the mail maybe a week ago or a couple weeks ago or maybe last month maybe, then I want you to make sure you keep this letter. So I'll go ahead and read the letter because it's a bit blurry, and I have a copy of this letter myself that I received, and basically this letter is talking about your economic impact payment that you received for 2021. So I'm gonna go ahead and read through the letter, and then what I'll go ahead and do is tell you why this is going to matter when you file your federal tax return. Okay, if you guys have already filed your tax return and you've already figured out how to input your economic impact payment, that's fine. If you have filed your tax return and then you just got the letter in the mail and you didn't put anything on there about the economic impact payment you received for 2021, then you're probably going to have to do an amended return. If you want to find out more information about that, you can definitely talk to your tax professional. I'm not a tax professional or anything. I don't give tax advice. Just means I'm not an accountant or tax person that's official and all that. I'm just telling you what I recently went through with this, because I almost made a mistake on my federal tax return for 2021. And I kind of had to put two and two together to kind of figure out how to add it, because there's a lot of misleading information online. And so I wanted to just share with you guys. So first I'm going to start off by reading this letter. So this letter is titled, the name of this letter is, it's a 6475. Now, if you guys want to take a look at this on the website that I'm on, I will go ahead and show you where I am. So I'm on website intuitturbotax.blog. As you can see, the address is blog.turbotax.intuit, which is spelled INTUIT/tax-planning-2, then /IRS -letters -6419 -and -6475 -4 6475-4 the advance child tax credit and third status what you need to no 50686 /. Or actually, I'm sorry, I think that's a, yes, /. Okay. So what you can do is, you can, if you want, you can Google 6475. What I did is that I looked up in Google, and the little section where you can search on Google, I entered in letter 6475 and click search. And then if you go to images, then you will find an image, and then the image is going to look like this. It's going to look like this, except it's not, you're not going to see the letter. It's going to look exactly like this. And what I can do, if you want, guys, I can put this link in the description so you can find this article, and you can scroll down and you can find this letter. Okay. So the page is titled IRS letter 6419 and 6475 for the advanced child tax credit and third stimulus, what you need to know. Okay. And the date on here is January 20th of 2022. Here. So you have a picture of a lady. She's filling out a form here. So if you scroll down, the first letter you're going to see is the 6419. That's not something we're going to be talking about in this video. If you want to know more information about this, you can probably Google it. I don't know if anybody's done a video about it or anything, but I wouldn't know enough about it to speak about it. So you're going to keep scrolling. So you're going to have, there's going to be a video, and it says YouTube video, the third stimulus check letter there. Funny thing is, when I was on YouTube, I didn't see this particular letter video. So anyway, you keep scrolling. Then it says letter 6475, your third economic impact payment. So you keep scrolling, and here we go. You get to letter 6475. Okay. So I got a letter like this in the mail. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and read this letter, and then we'll get right into how to not make a mistake on your federal income tax return for 2021. Okay. So we're going to get to this. And it's not about anything else. This is about how to make sure you enter the information from your letter 6475, and you enter that into your federal income tax return, and you make sure you enter it correctly, because there is some wording that can be on your federal income tax return that can trip you up. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and read this letter. Now, how do you know you have a 6475? You will know you have a 6475 because if you look at the bottom here, in bold, it's going to say letter 6475. Then in parentheses, it's going to have the letters EN and then dash SP and then close parentheses and then another open parentheses 9-2021 close parentheses, and then catalog number down here is kind of really small. It says 58142P. So if you see that information at the bottom of your economic impact payment letter, then you have the 6475. When I was first looking at the letter, I did not see down here that it said it was a letter 6475. Okay. So it may not necessarily be apparent to you that that's what it is. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. So it says at the top, it says IRS Department of the Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, and it has Austin, Texas. Then it has zip code 73301-0003. All right. And under here, there's not going to be any more information here. Now you're going to see date, and then you'll see a date in this box on your letter. Okay. Now everybody's date may be different. You know, mine I think is dated at the end of February. So there you go. And it's end of February this year. That's what mine is dated. And it says for assistance, call 800-919-9835 or visit irs.gov/EIP. Okay. Now, when I first got this letter a couple weeks ago, what I thought I would do to verify this letter was legit is I thought I would go ahead and call the IRS. So I dialed the number 800-919-9835. And sure enough, I was connected with the Internal Revenue Service, and it was like an answering machine. You got to do the prompts and stuff. And then what it says is we have longer than normal hold times. So I held on the line for about 20 minutes on the phone, and then I got tired of waiting. So then I just hung up. And then I decided the next day I was going to call them the next morning. However, I didn't end up doing it because I was like, you know, I have better things to do than sit around and wait on this. Okay. So the next part of the letter is going to say recipient name, and then it's going to have, in this part, it's going to have your full name. Then it's going to have your address. This is like the numbers on your house and your street and things. And then here it's going to have the city that you live in, the state, you're in the United States, of course. So it'll have your city, your state, and it'll have your zip code. So your zip code is probably going to be like 5 digits, dash, and then 4 other digits. Okay. You don't have to know the other 4 digits. That's fine. Just know your zip code, the 5 digits of your zip code. That's the important thing. Okay. So in this section, this is how you determine who the letter's addressed to. Okay. When I opened my letter, it had my name and it had my address and everything there. Okay. So let's go down to the next part. So it says, I'm right here. I have the mouse here so that people can kind of follow what I'm doing. So it says your 2021 economic impact payment or payments, keep this information with your tax records. So you want to keep this letter. If you got this letter and you put it on the side of your TV, or you put it on your nightstand or coffee table and stuff like that, then you want to grab this letter. You want to make sure you keep this, and you want to keep it around next to your W-2. If you've gotten your W-2, make sure you paper clip this letter to your W-2, so when it's time for you to go ahead and go online, if that's how you file your taxes, then you can do that. If you plan to go to a tax preparer, then you would take this letter along with your W-2 to your tax preparer, whoever that is. Okay. So if you're e-filing online, if you're going through TurboTax and you're doing that for free, then you guys are in for a treat, because I'm going to tell you how to make sure you input the information for your economic impact payment, also known as your third stimulus payment, onto TurboTax. So I will lead you there on what to put down and stuff, so you don't make the mistake, because you would think that it's going to be self-explanatory, but it's not. And I almost made a mistake. And after you hit submit, which or if you're filing with TurboTax, once you hit submit for your federal tax return and you submit it, you can't go back. So then what you will do, if you didn't enter in the information for your economic impact payment, or also known as your third stimulus payment, if you didn't enter that in, then you're going to have to fill out an amended return. And that's probably going to be a pain in the butt. So you don't want to have to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. So keep this letter for your tax records. Yes, it's legit. Okay. All right. So I'm going to continue reading here. I'm moving the mouse here. So it says why you received this letter, period. Under the American Rescue Plan, the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, issued you a 2021 economic impact payment or payments for the following total amount. Then here it says total amount 2021 economic impact payment or payments, and then you notice it says here $0.00. Now on your letter it's going to say your total 2021 economic impact payment is whatever it is on your letter. Your payment could have been $100, $500, $1,000, or something in between, $1 and however much the maximum is. I don't know, maybe the maximum is, I don't know, maybe is it like a little over 1,000 or something like that. So what it says on your letter here, you want to make sure you pay attention to whatever the number is in this box, okay, for how much you received. Okay, now you could have a couple of payments here, that's possible. But for me, I only had one amount that was in this box. But you want to pay attention to this line right here in your letter, okay, because that's in this box, because it's going to be very important. In just a moment, I'll show you. All right, so here I am right here. Why do you need, I'm so sorry, where did I get that from? What do you need to do? Okay, and below that it says, this economic impact payment isn't considered taxable income, and you shouldn't report it as income on your 2021 federal income tax return. What does that mean? The economic impact payment or the third stimulus payment is not income. So it's not income like what you would get paid from your job, okay? It's not taxable income. The income you get from your job is taxable. The stimulus payment, also known as the economic impact payment, is not taxable income. So that's what that sentence means, okay? So you should not report it as income on your 2021 federal income tax return, okay? Next sentence says, however, you'll need the total payment amount shown above to determine whether you're eligible to claim the recovery rebate credit on your 2021 federal income tax return. Okay, so what it's saying is you will need the amount that's right here that's shown in this box. So you'll need to know the total payment that you got for your economic impact payment or third stimulus payment. Hope that makes sense. Alrighty. Next sentence, it says, I'm down here. If you think you didn't receive the full amount of your third economic impact payment, you will, sorry, let me repeat that. If you think you didn't receive the full amount of the third economic impact payment you were entitled to, you must file a 2021 federal income tax return to claim the recovery rebate credit, even if you aren't otherwise required to file a tax return. So what does that sentence mean? Now, most of you be like, oh, I can read it, I can figure out what it means. Okay, so I'm going to explain this. I'm just going to say this so that it makes sense. Okay, and so it makes sense when you are inputting information online for your federal income tax return. Okay, whatever software, TurboTax or whatever. Okay, so if you think you didn't receive the full amount of the third economic impact payment you were entitled to, what does that mean? If you did not get a check in the mail for your third economic impact payment, if you didn't get a check in the mail, or you didn't get the payment for the economic impact payment or stimulus payment in your bank account, if you didn't receive a check or it didn't hit your bank account, that means that you did not get your economic impact payment. And it says the third economic impact payment, but you may have only gotten one economic impact payment. The third one may have been one that you were able to get according to whatever your income was. Okay? So I want to explain that because it makes it a little bit easier. When I was reading through the letter, I was like, yeah, I can read it, but I didn't really put two and two together there. You know what I'm saying? Because with taxes, it gets complicated. Okay? And you got to have a little bit of foresight, but you may not know until you kind of try things out when you're trying to fill out your federal income tax return. Okay? So, if you did not get your economic impact payment, so if you didn't get that one or you didn't get your stimulus payment, then what you're going to do, it says here, you must file a 2021 federal income tax return to claim the recovery rebate credit, even if you aren't otherwise required to file a tax return. Okay, so if you don't normally file a tax return and you don't got to file one, okay, well, you wouldn't file one, right? But if your economic impact payment is missing, meaning the money didn't hit your bank account and you didn't get a check for the economic impact payment or stimulus payment, that means that you did not receive the economic impact payment, or the stimulus payment. So you didn't get it. So this means that what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to file a 2021 federal income tax return to claim the recovery rebate credit. You would claim the recovery rebate credit if you did not get your economic impact payment or stimulus payment. Okay, I hope this makes sense. All right. So, last part, it says, how can you get more information? For more information about the economic impact payments, visit irs.gov/EIP or call the IRS Economic Impact Payment Hotline at 800-919-9835. Okay? Now, I made that mistake of trying to do that. You will not get through the line. If you try to go on to the IRS website and try to look up if you received the payment, I tried looking around on the website, but I don't think they will allow you to see, if you were going to receive it or not. You won't be able to see. It's not like you can do the get my payment like you will for your taxes or whatever. Like for the economic impact payment, you're not going to be able to use get my payment on the IRS Gov website. Okay, you're not going to be able to do it. I tried to do it a couple of weeks ago when I got this letter, and I think it said get my payments not available right now. So just so you guys know, just to save you guys some time. All right. Now watching this video, you're saving yourself time. All right. And I know you guys may be like, oh my gosh, just go ahead and get through it. Well, I want to show you what how I almost made a mistake with entering the wrong information on TurboTax when I was filing my return a short bit ago. Okay? Alrighty, so let me go ahead and look. Okay, here we go. So, I was on TurboTax filing my free federal income tax return, okay? And this is what the screen looked like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read down this page for you. And I'm going to show you why you need to be careful. Okay? So if you're on the TurboTax website, you're going to be in the federal review section. All right? So you're going to be here in this section. So you're going to be in the federal side of your income tax return. Okay? That's why it says federal review, and that's why this is highlighted here, because I was filing the federal part of my return. Okay, so obviously I blotted out the amounts and everything like that because I want to maintain my privacy. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this. So it says, let's double check the amount you received. Okay. Based on the tax information you entered and your adjusted gross income of. Now, the adjusted gross income is going to refer to the amount of money you probably keyed in that you made from your job. Now, the great thing about TurboTax is if your job is signed up with TurboTax, there's a part in the federal section where you can enter in how much you made from your W-2. So you enter in the amount you made in box 1 of your W-2. And if you enter that in and your job is signed up, then when you click continue, I think what it's going to do is it's going to pull that W-2 into the TurboTax system. So then you won't have to upload it. They will already be able to pull your W-2 from your employer. So, that's a nice convenience too. If you have to manually enter it, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with manually entering information. That's fine. All right. So this just refers to your income that you made from work. That's what the adjusted gross income is about. All right. So based on the tax information entered in your adjusted gross income of blank, right? So this is just the income from your job. You're eligible for the third stimulus payment of, when I was blotting this out, I ended up blotting out the F. So you're eligible for a third stimulus payment of, and what you will notice if you have if you have your letter 6475 handy, right? What you're going to notice is that the amount that they have right here, when it says you're eligible for a third stimulus payment of, let's say, $100 here, right? If it says $100 here, and then right here, then that's going to match with what's on your letter in this box. So the amount in this box is going to match what is in this box on the letter. That's why you want to pay attention to this, because you want to make sure both of them match, okay? So if it says $100 in this box on your letter, then it needs to say $100 right here. Because whatever the stimulus payment is that they said you're eligible for here should match in your letter 6475, which is right here. Okay? Hope that makes sense. All right, so let me go back to this screenshot here. Now, here comes the tricky part. Does this match the amount on your letter 6475? So if it says you're eligible for a third stimulus payment of $100, And it says it on here on the screen. And then in your letter, it says your total 2021 economic payment for 2021 is $100. If the amount in this box matches what is shown on the screen, let's pretend it says $100. And then on your letter, it says you received a total economic impact payment of $100. You might say, oh yeah, the two amounts match. It said $100 for my economic impact payment, and TurboTax said that I'm eligible for a $100 payment here. Oh, you would think, oh yeah, they do match. Hold on. Just because this says, does this match the amount on your letter 6475, you would think it's saying, does the amount of $100 that you're eligible for here, and yes, it will match what's on your letter if it says you got an economic impact payment for 2021 for $100. That would make sense, right? That is not what this question is asking. Pretend this is not here. What this question is actually asking you is not, do the amounts match? I know it's on the screen and it says this here. That's not what that means. It's asking, did you receive your total economic impact payments for 2021? Did you receive the amount that was on the letter? So it's asking, in this letter, in the 6475, it's asking you, where it says total 2021 economic impact payments, and let's say it says $100, this line means that you received $100 for your economic impact payment, also known as your stimulus payment. That's what this letter is about. That's what it's saying. Okay? But you notice down here it says if you didn't receive the full amount of your third economic impact payment you're entitled to, you will have to file your 2021 federal income tax return to claim the recovery rebate credit. Okay? So what do we do in this situation? Right? Because this question is asking, did you receive the amount that is stated on your letter 6475 that I just showed you? And you guys may wonder why I said no. The reason I said no is because I never received my economic impact payment. I didn't get a check in the mail, nor did I get the funds in my bank account for the economic impact payment for 2021. I didn't receive that. Now, what I did at first, I read what you guys did. I looked at the amount on the letter and the amount here. So it said, for me, it said, based on your tax information entered in your adjusted gross income of blank, you're eligible for your third stimulus payment of $100. And then it says, does this match the amount on your letter? And let's say on my letter it also said $100. If the amount in the box on the letter matches what's right here, if you say yes here, that means you've received your economic impact payment. When I ended up clicking continue, what it said on the next screen was, oh, okay, so you received that economic impact payment on the next screen. That's what it said. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute, I didn't receive that. So I clicked the back button, and then I came back to this question again. And then I wondered what it would say if I click no, because I never received it. And that's what you should click. If you haven't received your economic impact payment, you're going to click no to this question. So when it says, does this match the amount on your letter 6475, you're going to say no. Now, as you're going to notice, look at what this says down here. It says, enter the exact payment amount you received if they aren't exact. The IRS may delay your return. If you got multiple payments, enter the total, or 0 if you did not get a payment. So you enter 0 if you did not get your economic impact payment for 2021. You enter you're going to enter 0, as you notice that I did. Now, this is how you understand that they're asking down here if you received your economic impact payment or stimulus payment. This is how you can tell, because it says if you got multiple payments, enter the total, or 0 if you did not get your payment. It's saying enter 0 if you did not get your stimulus payment, or enter 0 if you did not get your economic impact payment or stimulus payment. Okay, that's what you're going to do. You're going to say no here, and then you're going to enter 0. If you click yes and you click continue on the TurboTax website, what's going to happen is that TurboTax is going to assume that you received that payment and you didn't. So you're going to click back. Then when it says, does this match the amount on your letter? You say no. And then make sure you read this. And then make sure you read the part that says, if you got multiple payments, enter the total, or 0 if you did not get your payment. Oh my goodness, what is this? Let me click that up. Okay. Sorry about that. So, once you click no, and then you enter 0, right? It says enter your total third round payment issued March 21st to May 21st as it appears on your letter 6475 from the IRS. Now, you are not going to enter the amount that's on the letter. You're not going to enter the amount here. You're not going to do that. The whole reason you're filing your income tax return is because you're trying to claim the recovery rebate credit, right? Because it says in the letter, if you think you didn't receive the full amount of the third economic impact payment you were entitled to, you must file a 2021 federal income tax return to claim the recovery rebate credit. Okay? That's why you're filing the return. So, don't get tripped up by what they say here. What you do is you basically do this. Does this match the amount on your letter? No. Click in that bubble, say no. Then remember to read, enter the total or 0 if you didn't get a payment. So that's why you enter 0 here, okay? Then what you're going to do is click continue, and I'm going to show you what's going to be on the next page if you're on TurboTax. You're following that, okay? Page 2, it says, just making sure you got 0 from your stimulus so far. It could also say, just making sure you got $0 for your economic impact payment for 2021. This is how you know you're on the right track, okay? Now, let's read a little more. It says, early 2021 may seem like a long time ago, but we recommend going back through your records to make sure you didn't get a third stimulus payment between March and May of 2021, okay? Take the extra time now will ensure your tax return is accurate, which helps prevent IRS delays. Where can I find my payment amount, okay? Now, you're going to know what your stimulus payment amount or economic impact payment amount was. You're going to be able to tell that from what it says on your letter 6475. All right? That's why I said you want to make sure you read the letter and you want to pay attention to what it says here. Okay? If you know you didn't get the stimulus payment or economic impact payment, it's okay to check your bank accounts. It's okay to check your email and stuff like that. It's okay to, see if you got a check by looking through your tax information. That's fine, But once you determine that you did not get the economic impact payment for 2021, then you're going to follow the steps I was talking about on the TurboTax website, okay? Now, what do you do after this? Right? After you look through all your information, for some of you don't have to, then you'll click this box on the TurboTax website if you're following through TurboTax, the free edition. Say yes. You'll click the box yes. $0 is right. And I'm going to show you what it says on the next part of it. The next page. Okay? So the next page says, great news. You qualify for the recovery rebate credit. Now, what is the recovery rebate credit? Let's go back to the letter. It says, if you think you didn't receive the full amount of the third economic impact payment you were entitled to, you must file a 2021 federal income tax return to claim the recovery rebate credit. Okay? This is what this is. The recovery rebate credits. The exact thing that you wanted to get that tells whatever tax system you're in, hey, I didn't get that stimulus payment. I didn't get that economic impact payment for 2021. Okay? This is what you should see. If you're in TurboTax and you follow my instructions, then this is going to tell you entered the amount correctly. Okay? Now it's going to read under that, it's going to say, your credit is based on your adjusted gross income, which you made from your job, and the total third stimulus payment you received of $0. You received $0 if you didn't get a check in the mail for your third economic impact payment or stimulus payment. That may be the only stimulus payment you got for 2021. Okay? Any changes to the information on your tax return could impact your credit amount. So anything you've entered on your tax return can impact the amount you're going to receive as a refund. After you file, the IRS will double check these numbers before approving you for this credit. So the IRS is going to double check and make sure you didn't get your economic impact payment or stimulus payment. Okay? That's really all it means. Now you can click this and learn more. All it's going to do is bring up a screen over here. And then what it's going to say here is your credit, and then it's going to say your credit here, and then the amount that you got on the letter is going to say your credit, and then it's going to tell you how much you're going to get in credit. So if you're supposed to get $1,100 for your stimulus payment, it's going to be right down here. Okay? That's going to mean you're going to get that amount of money added to your tax return. That's what it means. Okay? And then when you click continue, then you will continue on with the rest of your tax return. But you're going to get the money that you didn't receive from the IRS for your stimulus or economic impact payment. Okay? So I hope this video has been helpful, guys. I hope it has been. I appreciate you watching. I hope this has been descriptive enough. This is my second time making this video, and I just wanted to make sure it was clear as possible. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will put the link in the description for where you can find this letter online so you can compare with the one you received in the mail. Okay? All right. Remember, guys, do not throw this out. You will need this to file your tax return. Remember, if you're going to be taking this to your tax professional, take this 6475 letter along with your W-2 and take it with you. If you have any other specialized investments and stuff like that, your tax preparer can get you together. Okay? If you're doing it online, sometimes it can be complicated to figure it out. I almost thought I had to do an amended return, but you don't have to do an amended return. What you do is you just follow through. If you're doing it through TurboTax, just follow the prompts. You know, if you filed last year, TurboTax is going to re-enter most of the information. You're just going to update the information about whatever your salary was. It'll take you through the standard deductions, the credits, and all that. And eventually you'll get to the section about your earned, your 2021 economic impact payment. So that's why you want to keep that letter. You want to keep this letter in front of you. Okay? That's why you want to keep it, because you're going to need it when you file your federal income tax return. After you get done with this section about the economic impact payment, then it's going to take you to the next section where you're going to continue your return, and you're just going to answer questions and input information about your state tax return. Okay? So that's it for now. I just thought I would be helpful. I didn't see that anybody did a video about this, and I just learned a lot of stuff I'm telling you. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. And you should be able to look in the description, and you should be able to find this page where you can scroll down and take a look at the letter and compare it to the one that you received in the mail. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.